Gamersledge. This is a bonus Spoilercast for Godzilla 2014. Thanks for joining us. I am your host, Mark, and joining me is Dave.
Hello.
Who we both have varying opinions on the movie that just came out this last Thursday evening.
This is not going to be a conversation between friends.
It'll be a conversation between friends. It'll just be a conversation with differing viewpoints in which you'll be wrong. But,
It's the day the podcast dies.
We've both seen the Godzilla movie. I saw it opening day. Got the 9:45 showing. Dave, when did you watch it?
I saw it Friday, so I guess that was the day after it opened.
Yep. So, gonna try and keep this a little focused at the beginning, and then we'll ramble more beyond then. So, what I would like for each of us to do is to give it a score out of 10, and just quick bullet point pros and cons. I don't want to spend too long on it, but you want me to start, or you want to go first?
You go ahead.
Okay. So, bullet point pros and cons. Pros. I liked what they tried to do with the emotional side of the movie. I liked that it seemed to me to be kind of a love letter to the original Godzilla movies. The action sequences, when we got them, were really well done, and I thought that the plot didn't meander too much. It was all right. Cons, the guy they got to be the main character of the film has the emotional depth of a wet noodle, and he did not show emotion really well throughout the entire thing. That was the one detractor for me. Score out of 10, I would probably give it a strong 7.5. 7.5. I'll go 7.5, just because I think it's a good foundation. It's an origin story, more juxtaposition, more explanation of the origin, etc., for people who may not be familiar. But yeah. That I'd say 7.5 out of 10. Dave?
My turn. All right. I didn't hate the lead actor. I thought he kind of kicked ass.
No, I mean he was good in his physicality. I just felt he didn't.
He was the guy from Kick-Ass.
Yeah.
He was Kick-Ass. Okay. Let's. Sorry. Move on. I hated the bait and switch. I'll start with my cons. Hated the bait and switch with Bryan Cranston. Him being in the movie for only 2 minutes. Nope, not cool. I didn't like how they were trying to go overly artistic with the film, as far as hiding the monsters doing cool things and everything. I've seen Cloverfield. I like Cloverfield. Cloverfield did it well. This movie wasn't supposed to do that. I'm taking points against it because I think that was a big mistake on their part. The people, like you said, they really weren't compelling in the movie, and I was still kind of bitter about Bryan Cranston being knocked off early in the movie, so what I was left with was not making me happy at all, so I'm going to give that a big, huge negative, and we'll get in all the nitty-gritty about why I hated all the people in the movie. Pros, Godzilla looked fantastic. I thought they nailed the look. I love the way all the monsters looked. The scene when he did his lightning for the first time, he did his fire for the first time, and the whole light. Perfect. That was just awesome. It just took. I had to give up too much to get that. So that's kind of where I'm at that. I'm going to squarely put it in the 5 category for me.
Oof! Wow, really?
Yeah, I know, dude. It just I really liked the very end of it, but it just. They angered me too much getting up to that point.
See, I think for me, I really liked the section with Brian. When you look back at it, it wasn't 2 minutes like you said. I mean, he had a good, I'd almost say, close to 45 minutes of the movie between setting up the scenes at the power plant and then subsequently his descent into madness, quote unquote, is what I like to call it. I think he had a good chunk of the movie, and I think that he was the movie's emotional anchor. The problem was I liked everybody but the main character. The main character's wife, she did a great job. I mean, she felt real. She felt loving and worried.
Ah, see, this is where I'll argue that point a little bit. She just gave her son away and said, "No, I'm gonna wait here."
Yeah,
You know,
I thought that was very odd myself.
that's not a mom thing to do. I'm
No,
sorry.
it's not. But
But
at the same time, if you know what's going on, you may want to get him out of the city. But
and you'd go with them.
yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Especially considering, like, what happened in what happened in her husband's family and everything, how he lost his mom and stuff to a tragedy. You think she'd separate from her son? No, that doesn't happen. It
Yeah,
doesn't happen.
that
Mothers lift up and flip cars for their kids, okay?
I think that's a one of the few logic fails of the movie.
Yeah, that killed it for me with her character. As soon
I
as she did that, I was just like, I'm done.
I, I didn't mind it so much. Um, was that Ken Watanabe? Who is the name of that actor? The Japanese actor.
It's um oh God.
See, and I just tried to say a Japanese actor, and I think I picked the wrong one.
No, it's I'm drawing a blank on his name.
The thing that really struck me about his characterization is it looked like the guy was gonna cry the whole time.
Oh yeah, well, because he kind of screwed up.
Well, yeah, I just thought it was. I liked his portrayal. I liked his assistant's portrayal. I liked most of what you said you
Oh yeah,
hated
you're
all.
right. That's him.
It is Ken Watanabe. All right,
Yeah.
good. That's what I thought, but I just
Why? Who was I thinking of?
I don't know. That's why I was like, well, it should be. Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson, playing Ford, he just did not. I mean, literally, he had constipated. That was his one look throughout the entire movie,
Yeah.
and that really did. I didn't mind the motivations. I didn't mind, how they played out the progress of the story, because this was more a story. When I came out of the theater actually thinking that they had taken a page from The Walking Dead, to be quite honest, and while I think it works on some level, is that necessarily the best level? No, but I don't think it will continue that trend with the already confirmed inevitable sequel.
Yeah.
I think they
Don't go for Walking Dead. Like Walking Dead works because it's like you have a generic, like, just series of bad guys.
well, yeah,
This is
and
your
I agree
star
with
of the
that.
movie is a big giant monster.
See, and what they did was they said, okay, the monsters are the backdrop. It's really the story about this man and his son.
Yeah, mistake number one. Huge.
No, you know what? I get what they were going for, and I don't think it's that bad. What I do think is the amount of time before you get into the monster fights should have been lessened. I agree
Yeah.
that we should have
Or
had
not
more.
even so much like I wouldn't have minded the time so much as the director's big fu of, like, like the one scene, like this is like the third time he did it too, and he was just getting more and more obvious about it. Like when the doors were closing, when the people were running, and Godzilla's just about to chomp down, like, and you see it and you're like, oh yeah, here we go, and just like doors closed, and like the director's just like no, mm-mm. Like that was just like now you're just being hostile toward the audience.
Well, okay, so wait a minute though. Let's look at this. What was the rating on this? Was it a PG-13? Because I can't think that this was an R-rated movie.
No, it had to be PG-13. There was nothing.
And so with a PG-13 rating, you're not going to get Jurassic Park style. I was actually surprised with the amount
No,
of.
no, I didn't need that. But I wanted to see them fight.
Oh yeah, I agree
You know,
wholeheartedly.
you can have a dinosaur chomp down on another, giant monster. That
Which
doesn't.
they did. You
That
can't say
doesn't.
they didn't. They didn't show that because they did.
Eventually,
Yeah.
it took too damn long. Is what I'm trying to say.
Um,
There.
I I was genuinely surprised. I don't know about your theater audience, but I was in an IMAX 3D
Hmm.
when I watched it, and I want to say there was close to like 420 people in there. And literally, when he started charging his lasers and then shot the laser for the first time,
Hmm.
the entire theater erupted, which surprised the hell out of me because apparently Godzilla still has a pretty huge pull in 2014 because only the diehard fans would know about that. It's not like they put it in that 1984 Matthew Broderick remake.
I never even saw that one.
It's not the
Awful.
greatest.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
I didn't even like as soon as I saw the thing, I was like, all right, that's just a dinosaur. That's not Godzilla in any way, shape, or form.
So yeah, no, I really, like you said, I think they nailed the look of Godzilla. The Japanese were complaining that he was a little too fat. I thought he was just fine. Um,
Really?
yeah, there was a whole big
I'm
thing
just
where
watching this Mecha Godzilla one right now, and he was pretty chubby in that one.
yeah, well, that's because the guy in the suit put on a couple pounds.
Well, that was
But
1975, I think, was this one.
right.
So yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
now here's the real question. Did you see Mothra?
In the movie?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Where the
So
hell was Mothra?
Mothra makes a cameo, not the monster, but the name of the monster makes a cameo in the scene where they go back to the old house in Japan that's quarantined,
Yeah.
and they're going through the house. When the son goes into his room, it
Mhm.
shows a little terrarium,
Mhm.
and there's two words put together like it was like newspaper clippings or something, and it says
Right.
Mothra right down at the bottom.
Oh, I didn't even notice that one.
I just caught it because the camera was doing a pan, and I saw it right as it went off the screen. And I'm like, oh,
Nice.
couldn't say anything, but yes. So that's the one Easter egg that I noticed. I'm sure there's more. I haven't searched the net for them yet.
Yeah, there's probably some more stuff in there. I was just kind of like, taking it all in for the first time. I usually don't catch that stuff until like the second one. Um, Another thing that really bothered me so much about this movie, like I don't mind when, I understand that there's like stuff you have to give up when you're, watching a sci-fi movie or something like that. But they were evacuating the city, right?
Right. You don't evacuate them over the bridge.
Well, hey, let's just say that that was a convenient way to evacuate everybody over the bridge. Why did they police barricade the other end when that was the way they were, getting people out, especially just busloads of children on buses, on
Yep.
school buses? And they're like, nope, can't go by. No, that doesn't make sense. They sent these people this way, and now you're saying you can't go that way. And we assume everybody died except the one bus because the hero's kid was on it.
Well, no, if you look at that scene, this is actually something that stuck out to me. Um, you see that guy, he's the only one moving,
Yeah,
right?
that's
But
it.
then when he comes off the bridge, there's like 27 other cars behind him in amongst three lanes. And I'm like, no, no, they're all dead. Pretty sure. But that being said, what are you gonna do? It's a monster movie. I'm not. I think I went in with low expectations, and
See, that was my mistake. I went in with high expectations.
I definitely went in with low expectations because I actually attended the theater premiere of the Matthew Broderick Godzilla.
Ooh.
And so I went in with low expectations, and I said, "Look, these are the these are the things I want from a good man in a suit movie, even though there's no men in suits. I want good monsters battling. I want some kind of half decent storyline, and I want the build up to get behind Godzilla. And I think that is something that they did well through the story mechanism, which I know you said no, it's horrible, but what it was they were slowly building and building and building on top of this personal story, because one of the most poignant shots in the entire movie was right after he uh, I think he threw the bombs down in the nest, and he's wounded. He's been blown clear, and Godzilla like looks at him, and he looks back. I thought that was actually one of the more poignant moments of the film, where it seemed like there was a real connection between Godzilla and humanity and the man and the beast. Did you get that or no?
Yeah, I got that a little bit. But here's my issue with that. Because you had that between the one dude
Mm.
and Godzilla. Okay?
But see, and I will go so far. Let me expound on that for just a second before you bring your point.
You're going to have to.
Yeah, because here's the thing. That one human was specifically responsible for stopping 1,000 more of the babies of the monsters. And
right.
Godzilla was smart enough to realize what he had done.
Sure.
So that's
totally
all.
Gotcha. Totally with you on that. Totally agree. Nobody else. That's one dude. You know, him and Godzilla had the sup moment. All right, you know, they both did that little head chin. You know, they got that. Okay, yeah, sup. All right, gotcha.
How you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Nobody else had that. Nobody else. Everybody else, just giant lizard, giant spider, attacking the city, knocking everything over. And then at the end of the movie, people are just like, all right, Godzilla, go ahead. You know, okay. No, I'm pretty sure everybody at that point would still be in, like, you know, holy crap, the world is ending mode. Nobody had any other reason, except for the professor's one theory saying that, like, he's hunting them, which I'm sure that made a lot of sense.
Yeah, that was probably the weakest plot logic for me, is nature has a balance. It will be okay. I'm like,
This isn't... I just love how he broke it down to basically hockey playoff. Nah, let him fight it out, dude. just you gotta let him go.
I do have to say that is a much better plan than what the military concocted. Let's detonate a nuke 20 miles offshore.
Which still
happened. And no one talks about, I don't know, fallout drift? Hello?
They specifically said in the movie how much more powerful that bomb was that they were going to use compared to the bomb that went off in Hiroshima. And they had two of them.
Yeah.
So they were prepared to pop two of these things off. 20 miles?
20 miles does not seem like a safe
I'm not sure. And that wasn't a speedboat that thing was on either.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he fell asleep and he was just going under the bridge. Yeah. They picked him up on the helicopter and boom. I'm pretty sure
that helicopter
entire West Coast is dead. Yeah, exactly.
West Coast gone.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everything should have been so gone. And it's just like, and I didn't understand why he didn't just defuse the bomb right there, because like he had the big poker thing, and that could have easily got him enough leverage to just wedge that thing off.
Pup.
Huh?
My poker.
No, don't do that. Don't.
No.
Oh, no.
Right.
Come on, we're trying to be serious here for a moment.
Right, I know. Right? No,
he was just like, we're about to detonate a nuke. Nap time.
Yeah. Like, get that guy some smelling salts and get his ass to work.
You're like, really? That's when your adrenaline ran out? I've been in much less tense situations and been way more wound up than that guy.
Well, and I guess my question is, how would they know he was alive to go get him? How would he know they were out there? Wouldn't those guys have went, I don't know, to the pier that Godzilla destroyed first?
Well, it was easy to find everything, because if you notice, all throughout those scenes, everybody was always just 2 seconds away from everything. You know, he was just like, all of a sudden he's, firebombing the eggs, and then, 30 seconds later he's in the water.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, 20 minutes to carry a nuke out to the bay. That is not going to happen. That's not a lot of time.
Well, he was apparently a really fast dude.
Well,
we don't give him enough credit for that.
I have to say, it sounds like I'm detracting. I'm not, because I'm not.
You agree with me, you just don't want to. It's cool. I understand.
No, It's that I think when I look at a movie like this, I have certain expectations that portions of it are not going to be, rocket science.
Oh, sure. And I
It
completely agree with that. However, like I went in just wanting to see like, some really great monsters fighting for the whole thing. And you know something? You didn't give it to me. I'm going to start picking everything apart then. Because you went and, tried to be cutesy with the
But
direction.
see, I think you're thinking about this backwards. You're expecting the sequels as opposed to the origin story, which I get to a degree because there has been stuff before it, but just like every comic book movie, just like the Amazing Spider-Man, which is a reboot of an origin story, we had to sit through Peter's frigging entire life backstory once again for the umpteenth millionth time, even though everybody friggin' knows about it. Same with Batman, same with all these characters. Godzilla is the exact same thing. We got the origin story now, and what we'll see in the sequels will be the full feature length knockdown dragouts against, he's got to have the warm up, then he's got to have the serious contender that beats him down for a while, and then where he gets back up and eventually prevails. That is the formula of every Godzilla movie ever made. Sequel. So I really think that will be exactly what you'll get going forward. They've got the depth and they've got the franchise structured now. The foundation is built, so now they can continue on with not having to do so much storytelling in the next
Which that
chapters.
would definitely be more fun. I worry about them doing the whole, big reveal thing again. Where they have these like you remember when for instance, like the first Born movie.
Yes.
Remember how awesome the first Born movie was?
Yes.
And all the fighting he did in the movie was just like, really like, he had these great camera angles and you just saw everything he was doing. And then you're just like, wow, like, that was really cool, Chris. The fight scenes were like, so different and unique and everything. And you just saw everything and they were just really cool. And then the second movie came around and, the new director or whatever, I'm assuming he's a different director for the Bourne movies, right? They all had
Uh,
different directors, didn't they?
I think so. I don't know off the top of my head, honestly.
Either way, the decisions that were made in, for doing the second movie, all of a sudden the camera angles were really close up and shaky cam, so there was like obfuscating a lot of what was going on screen, so you really didn't get to see a lot of the crispness that you saw in the first movie. I kind of worry that they were, in the sequels, that they might do stuff like that where, they try hiding things or trying to make it look more frenetic than it should be. Ah, I have very little confidence at this moment.
No, I don't. I don't. I mean, they've made already a buttload of money with this one.
Oh
They
yeah,
have confirmed the sequel, so I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think what they tried to do is infuse a little bit of the Marvel formula into Godzilla. I think that it could be argued it was a little mixed bag in terms of what the end product was. I agree that the monster was, I mean, the fights were too long in getting to them, but not by much. I thought the buildup of the personal story leading to the final battle of the monsters was pretty decent. I think it could have used more on-air screen time for the final battles, but I thought what we got was phenomenal. Um, and I was pleased. I mean, I walked out of there excited. To me, like I said, the best way I can sum it up is it felt like a love letter to Toho, to the original uh, Godzilla movies, in a kind of reimagining, but still keeping the essence of the character, but making a more personal story. And I didn't
I
mind
think
it.
they, I think that they get, I think that they did get a lot right, as far as the actual like character of Godzilla and everything. So I appreciate that. Like I said, I love the look. The special effects were great. The way they did the monsters were awesome. When we finally did get, hmm?
The destruction. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I sat there looking for problems in the buildings, the building effects, the all that stuff, and that was flawless and beautiful. Just if you ever wanted to see the Bay Area destroyed and America's tech economy going right down the toilet, That's probably the best simulation you're ever gonna get.
Yeah, yeah, they did a good job with that part. Um, so like I said, I like that. It's just like, and even here's my thing, like even finally when we did get the final fight,
Mike
honestly,
Hagar. What?
what's that?
Mike Hagar? What?
Yeah, exactly. I think they rushed it a little bit.
Is your cat like tearing paper?
No,
I hear this noise in your background, like cats tearing paper or something.
really? There's like nothing actually going on right now.
There, it's happening right now.
Oh, was it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. Apparently the microphone was actually rubbing against the shirt.
Oh, was it? Did you buy dinner first?
Nah.
You're
That's
so, you're so cruel. All right.
yeah.
How do you feel it was rushed?
Because once they got down to it, and like they had that like awesome like scene where he just like grabs the jaw and like does the whole fire. Great, but like we could have used the jab a little bit, dude. You know.
No. Let's talk about that exact scene for just a moment. He
Sure.
breathed lightning down into his maw until his head disattached from his body, and then swung the head around like a triumphant trophy. I
I
I
agree.
I really
Awesome.
yeah.
I'm not saying it wasn't awesome. I'm not saying that wasn't awesome at all. But it was just kind of like okay, here we go. Yeah, it's over. I just felt it was a little rushed compared only because like I probably would have been fine for that if we had all the fights leading up to it, but we didn't. We were cheated of all these awesome moments.
But
And I will
here's
say
the
cheated because they teased it, took it away, teased it, took it away, teased it, took it away. They did it 3 times.
I think
3 times, and
there's
then they were just like rushed.
two things that I would counter that with. Number one is the buildup that they did with the new monsters was excellent. In that the scenes where on the train trellis
Hmm.
with the monster there, the scenes with Las Vegas and the monsters, I thought those were really well done, and it gave us some monster action sporadically throughout the movie. So I don't think it was a total bait and switch, like you're saying. It was I think
No,
it
no,
was
that
more.
wasn't the bait and switch. Was the
No, I
prank.
know you think it's Cranston, but I mean it wasn't this tease and then we're gonna not show you tease and then we're not. I don't think it was quite that dramatic, but
The tease was the actual fights between Godzilla and the monsters.
we saw
That's
most of that.
but right when it got good, like Godzilla's about to chomp, he's just like doors closed. Come on, that was cheap.
Well, the other thing I'll say is now that we have a giant nuclear thermal warhead detonated just off the coast, I'm sure that's going to bring all kinds of radiation-loving mutants out, kaiju out of the deep now.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I mean, I fully expect the sequel to be the traditional 2 to 3 new monsters for Godzilla to fight. Um, maybe we'll see a Godzilla sidekick in there. Who knows? Because they got to have those toys to spin off.
Well, I'm assuming Mothra's going to show up.
I hope.
Have to.
I hope.
They have to. Mothra has to be in the sequel.
The funny part was the best line of the evening actually came courtesy of the 4 geeks sitting directly behind me. They one of them turned to the other 3 and says, "Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me for watching Pacific Rim 2."
Yeah. See, I would argue against that because Pacific Rim was really awesome.
Yeah. Well, see, and I think I actually thought about that on the way home. I think that was part of why I knew you were going to give this a lesser score in advance, because it was a completely different storytelling formula. In that one, you could almost say that it was nothing but fights with just the bare bones amount of storytelling required to hold the action scenes together.
Correct. And that's the
And
formula that it should be.
and I think that's what we'll
You-
get from the Godzilla movies going forward. But I think this is more, like I said, of an origin story where they wanted to focus more a little bit on story and giving a personal connection to the monster, as opposed to just saying he's big, he's bad, Godzilla.
Yeah. Although I did say I didn't get a chance to watch it yet because it just came in today. I found out that there was a Criterion edition Blu-ray of the original 1954 Godzilla.
Really?
Yes.
Are
It has.
you going to review it for us?
I will definitely once I get a chance to watch it, which should be tomorrow night. Actually, I'm gonna try watching it. Oh wait.
No.
Well, no, I can probably get it in before
Oh,
we
okay.
have the podcast. Yeah, if I do it right after dinner, it should be fine. But it's not only. See, the thing is, I didn't realize. Well, I mean, I kind of did, but kind of didn't. Like it has the original Japanese, full Japanese version on it,
Mm-hmm.
and as a bonus, it has the Raymond Burr version.
Oh, nice.
You know,
I'm afraid to ask what it costs because it's Criterion, so it's a premium.
a little over $20.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
think
then
it
I'll
was
be
like
picking that up.
I think it was like $25 on Amazon,
I will be
maybe
picking that up.
maybe 26. But it has both, and they're fully like it's Criterion. It's remastered as good as you can get it.
Right.
But they have the original Japanese one, and then they have the Raymond Burr one. The thing I didn't realize when I was reading about it is I didn't realize how much they changed with the Raymond Burr one. I thought they just kind of added him in just to throw an American actor in the movie. No, they apparently changed a whole lot of the movie. So I've never seen the original one. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. And I'm curious as to what I'm going to think about the original one and how they did the original one. And, so I'm kind of excited about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear what you think about it. So, do we have anything else? Any pros? Any cons? Anything that you would like in a specific monsters in a sequel?
I want to see Bryan Cranston properly come back as a giant monster.
Oh,
That
so
would
it's going to be Attack of the Titans.
That'd be great. Um,
I actually wouldn't mind if he just picked his son up and.
yeah. Whatever they want to do, whatever they do is probably going to be fine. I mean, I'm assuming we're going to see some of the classics in there. I know it's too early to do like a Mecha Godzilla or something like
Yeah, but
that.
that's what I really want. That's what I really want.
I think they're going to save that for the third one. And the next one's going to have a mutated giant shrimp monster that's going to come out.
Here's my real question.
Mhm.
This is possibly one of the most off the wall ideas that I've ever come up with. But how awesome would it be if they merged the Pacific Rim and Godzilla franchises to give us Mecha Godzilla?
Ooh. I'm not entirely against that.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because I've been racking my brain how they could possibly do the alien storyline. They're not going to do that. I mean,
they've done crossover stuff in the past, right?
they have. And so my thought is, a kaiju Godzilla clone to create Mecha Godzilla. And that way you've got Godzilla and the kaiju fighting against Mecha Godzilla. I think that would be a hell of an awesome movie.
Well, wait a minute. I mean, if they made it, like if you're talking about humans making a Mecha Godzilla?
Yeah. Like they start out with the best of intentions, or it could be a shady organization that does it, like the guy who got eaten and regurgitated at the end of Pacific Rim.
Oh, okay, so we're talking about people that are trying to bring forth the third impact.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, you've got the ability. They create this hybrid, and of course, it becomes uncontrollable, and then it starts attacking the cities, and so then it's up to the kaiju and Godzilla to save the day.
I could get behind that.
I totally could get behind it. Uh,
I
movie
mean,
studios,
10-year-old me is definitely behind it.
yeah. The movie studios, you have my stamp of approval. Just remember to pay me. Thank you, and good night. Any other closing thoughts before we discuss probably the most exciting and important news item of the day?
No, we can get right to.
Okay, but I am going to say, if you do like Godzilla, you should go watch the movie. I know that Dave is a little less up on the movie.
Go to a matinee.
Yeah, go to a matinee. That's
Nice
fine.
Sunday morning matinee for $5.
I do say if you can see it in IMAX 3D, that's how I did it. It was worth seeing it in the IMAX 3D. The scope of everything on a giant screen is quite impressive. So yeah, I definitely do recommend that. But yes, do go see it. So Dave officially gives it a. What was your final score?
I'm fine. I put it in a solid 5. Right in the middle. It was just kind of.
Okay.
It didn't thrill me. I was disappointed, but it delivered at the end, so it was very uneven for me.
And I give it a 7.5. I'd say that it's not the best movie ever made. Was it fun? Yes. Did I like the story arc? Yes. I thought it was solid. So 7.5 out of 10. And then with our last remaining minutes, we will talk about the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer.
I heard a vicious rumor that you weren't going to watch the trailer.
I was not, because if any of you have watched before, I hate trailers. They tend to give away plot points about the movie. There was an old Morgan Freeman murder mystery called Kiss the Girls that they actually gave away the ending in the trailer.
Did they really?
Yes, and
That's hilarious.
pissed me off so much that I'm like, because I'd not read the book, but my parents had. And so she had told me about it, but not spoiled anything for me. But watching the movie, the fact that they showed the ending blatantly in there, I was able to connect the dots and figure out the ending. I'm like, I have no reason to go watch this movie now.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I hate trailers. I've had plenty of movies spoiled for me.
I had this really elaborate plan that I didn't tell anybody yet, that if you weren't going to watch a trailer, I was going to figure out ways to actually send it to you, and how you can like earmark the video at like certain time stamps. I was going to just send it to you and just basically rickroll you second by second until you saw the whole thing.
No,
it was going to be probably my most brilliant work ever, but apparently I don't have to do it.
Thought they could not top the first trailer. They so very much did.
They are knocking the pre-promotion of this movie out of the park.
I cannot.
They were even making fun of the idea that movie out
that's
there.
Exact. I mean,
in the trailer,
it's they are completely not taking themselves seriously in any way, shape, or form. The music that they use, the scenes that they choose to show, and the dialogue that they highlight. And it seems to me that John O'Reilly is going to have like every great line in the film.
Oh.
This is probably not such a good idea.
Yeah. When they did that, I was just like, God, they are so aware of everything.
I cannot wait for August 1st to be here. That's one of my most anticipated movies of the decade now.
Yeah, it needs to be August.
And I was
I don't even care about X-Men at this point.
I was sincerely hoping during Godzilla that we would get the new trailer, but sadly it was the original trailer.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even see the original trailer in it.
Yeah, they had it at my theater, which I didn't mind because great.
Yeah.
So yes, X-Men Spoilercast probably will happen next Monday.
I'm not gonna see it. I'm already telling you right now. I'm gonna be a week late seeing that movie.
Okay, well we may postpone it depending on the number of people because I really, if we can have more than two, that's great. If we can't, that's fine
Yeah,
too. But I'd like
I
to.
think. I mean, personally, I mean, I know I'd add a lot to that conversation. So I think the more you have on, that's a prime dork movie right there. You want as many as you can on that one.
Yeah, and I agree. I think there's going to be a lot to discuss. I'm actually anticipating not liking the movie, so
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
I hated X3 with every fiber of my being, and this is pretty much a direct sequel. So I mean, it will have Bishop. We'll see how bad they slaughter him because this is my one chance to have him on the freaking screen. This and Age of Apocalypse, and I swear to God, if they screw him up, I don't
It,
want to say anything that's going to get me like in trouble,
yeah.
but there will be fire and yes,
The thing, God, the odds are so good that they're gonna screw
screw
that
it up.
up.
And the fact that they are predominantly pushing Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique does not make me any more confident.
What are you talking about? That's a good thing. That's a plus for the movie.
I don't know. I don't know.
Dude, we're about to have words.
Yeah, I prefer Rebecca Romaine Stamos first of all in terms of
Ah!
in terms of blue body. Thank you very much. Uh, Second of all, say
She's an
what you
awesome
will.
actress. She's an
My
awesome actress.
Yeah, but I don't like her that much. That's the easiest way to say it.
You're
I'm not
insane.
saying she's not a good actress. I'm just saying that I never get. You know how you watch certain actors and actresses, and you get that
You've
little
apparently
chill.
not seen two of the best movies that she was in.
So you're gonna say which two? Are
I'm
you?
guessing you've only seen The Hunger Games with her.
No, I've seen something else with her.
Silver
Um,
Linings Playbook.
no, I've not seen Silver Lining Playbook.
Okay, so
Which,
you didn't see the movie she got an Oscar for.
yeah, I did not see the movie she got an
Okay. Did you
Oscar
see
for.
American Hustle,
Yes, I did see
where
American Hustle.
where she was nominated for an Oscar?
I know, but she doesn't. I don't connect with her. I don't know why.
Oh God! All right. All right.
So I'm not saying she's a bad actress. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I don't connect with her, and I guess empirically that makes me question how many other people do.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying I'm very interested to see Gambit's reveal and whether or not they're going to be able to build franchises off of him. So because it's going to be Gambit and Mystique moving forward. Although Hugh Jackman wants to fight Wolverine, fight Hulk in the Avengers. Did you see any of that?
No.
IGN Australia sat down for the X-Men junket tour, and they asked him some very offbeat questions. And one of the questions was, if you could do your dream matchup for a comic book movie, what would you do? And he said, well, I'd want to play Wolverine with the Avengers because that team is so dysfunctional that he'd fit right in there. And that he would come to blows eventually with the Hulk because those are two, rage-based characters.
Yeah.
He said the physical side might be a little demanding because I'm pretty sure I'm going to be on the worst end of it, but it was an
He's held his
interesting
own
thing.
numerous times against the Hulk, so I'm fine with
Yeah.
that.
So yeah, it'd be interesting to see, but it's never going to happen. But it'd still be interesting to see.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
So, well,
But
very good.
yeah, that trailer, dude. There's so much good stuff in that trailer.
I
Rocket.
have yet to look at any like moment by moment reviews, but Bradley Cooper as Rocket Raccoon
Yeah.
is one of the greatest. It's going to be one of the greatest performances in history, and not that it's going to be Oscar worthy or anything. It's just going to be freaking fun.
I don't know. Let's not count him out just yet.
I don't think so, but we'll
I
see.
I was just dying. He's just like, just a quick scene, and he's just like, shifting his junk around. I mean, this They animated a raccoon shifting his junk. Come on.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting thing, and I think Batista as Drax is gonna work so well.
It works for me.
So, um,
And we
so
got to
so
hear Groot. Ugh. Their choice of music in this movie is going to be fantastic because
yeah, I'm
there's
like,
more to that mixtape.
really? That's the as soon as it started the trailer, I'm like, really? That's the song you're going with for this trailer?
But apparently,
Really?
I know, but it works so well. And
Oh, it
apparently,
does.
there's more of that genre of music in the movie. Apparently,
Well, if you're a man lost in space, that would be pretty much what I'd want to take with me as well. So,
yeah. It's
now I will tell you that Star-Lord in his mask looks
oh,
freaking badass.
the
I mean, they pulled that right out of the comics and they got
yeah.
it to a T. He looks badass. So I am really excited about this. I'm really excited about it. Um, that will be an interesting spoiler cast.
Yeah, I'm really if they see like I've said it, I know I've said it multiple times, this exact phrasing, but if Marvel pulls this off, they are Teflon.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. There will
They're-
not be a franchise that they could put out that no one will
this
go
is
see.
Marvel just like, coming out and going, all right, here it is on the table. DC try and even do anything, because they'll be untouchable at this point.
I I don't think that's true. I think that they are that um I think that Warner is making the movie or making the effort through TV shows to build a tapestry of continuity. And
I'm not saying that DC will never be able to do anything, you know, to combat them. I'm just saying that, Marvel itself as a studio
oh, I agree.
is
I
just
agree.
they're going to be. I mean, they're going to have to actually put some effort into screwing up after that because I don't see it happening.
See, and to digress for just 1 second about X-Men First Class, one of the reasons that I have lowered my expectations already is because I saw a trailer for it.
Hmm.
It looked like a commercial, like a TV spot that maybe
Yeah.
was airing online as well, that said prepare for the best comic book movie ever.
Oh, did they really?
Yes, and that right there is
It's
the
a lie.
instant way for me to go, all right, this is going to be a steaming pile.
Yeah, this is. They're already lying to the audience.
Yep. So,
It
I
starts
mean,
off.
I may come back with a completely different tune after Thursday, but
They start the movie, and it's just the beginning of Avengers. They're just going to replay the Avengers, and that's how they're going to make their money.
Fox does a licensing deal with Sony, and hey, by the way, wait, this one Fox? No, yeah, this one's
Yeah,
Fox.
this is Fox.
Yeah, this one's Fox. Yeah, Fox does a licensing deal with Sony with Marvel, and yeah, that would be hilarious. Or better yet, it's the Riff Tracks guys riffing on Avengers.
Yeah, they have one. I gotta
They
watch
do.
that.
I haven't watched it. I really want to, but I haven't watched it.
Yeah, I gotta. Thanks for reminding me. I gotta get that one.
Yeah. So
But yeah. Oh man, I'm glad I didn't see that commercial where they said that.
yeah, I was like, oh. And then it was Mystique that they, immediately showed up directly after this said best movie ever. And I'm like, oh man, they are really hyping Jennifer Lawrence, which makes
But
me not want to like her.
as they should, because she's an awesome actress.
Yeah, I know, but we'll see. We'll see. I have seen good actors be in crappy movies before.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen Natalie Portman in Star Wars.
Yes. Yes.
You know,
Yes.
she's been knocking it out of the park since she was 12, and he managed to get a bad performance out of her.
What was somebody
That
I
takes talent.
remember when Thor came out. I don't remember which one of my friends, but one of my friends said, "What's Padme doing in New Mexico?" And I'm like, "Really? Really? That's where you're going with that? All right." Uh, so, um, housekeeping items. As always, please do visit the site, gamersledge.com. Excited to announce we are actually launching a new channel. It's going to be gamersledge.com/music, where we're going to keep tabs on bands and phenomenon. It's going to be hosted by Neo Sapien and then a new person to the fold. We'll talk about that a little bit more, probably on the main podcast as that progresses along. And other than that, please do follow us on twitch.tv, soon to be Google, YouTube. Do follow us here on YouTube, like, subscribe.
That should make things convenient.
No.
No?
No, you're going to see a mass exodus from Twitch. And the simple, I mean, we'll talk about it more on the podcast tomorrow, but the simple fact is that means that YouTube's copyright content algorithms will be applied to Twitch, which means that 99% of all of the Twitch archived things will be blocked.
Are we sure about this?
Yeah, well, we're not sure. Google could let it continue to be its own entity, but as they used to say in the Boston area, I doubt it.
I'll take your word for that one. I don't know. We have to wait to see how this one shakes out.
I just have a feeling they're gonna just roll it into YouTube, and
there's interesting things happening with like lawsuits and everything lately. I don't know if you noticed where Motorola Mobility and Apple just dropped all their lawsuits with each other.
Yeah, Google and Apple. Yeah, I know.
Well, it wasn't Google and Apple. It was Motorola and Apple.
Motorola is owned by whom?
Well, yeah, but that's with these lawsuits. They were their own thing, and
But Motorola is owned by whom?
Technically, yeah. But I'm talking about this lawsuit was specifically for. Oh, that's a cool one. But I mean, just the patents that they had for not the overall Google patents. It was the Motorola patents against Apple patents and everything. And everybody's just decided to drop everything. That's a good sign.
It is a good sign because I think they're starting to realize it's bad for business.
Yeah, it's horrible for business.
Yeah, so.
Like, if you have something where they're blatantly, like, where it's really bad and,
but then we also have to talk about the FCC ruling tomorrow. So that's... It's going to be a very meaty podcast tomorrow, so do tune in then. We'll be starting our live stream around, what did Neo say, 10 Eastern or 11 Eastern?
Hopefully it's 10. Yeah,
hopefully 10 Eastern, 9 Central, 7 Pacific, and we'll talk about all that and more. So do please tune in there on Twitch, balth99. I'm sorry, on Twitter, balth99. Facebook is facebook.com/gamersledge. Burgundy, what's your PSN?
D-Berg.
Yeah, it's right there in the bottom of your screen.
Yes. Well, I can't see that.
And then balth for me on the PSN. As I said, we appreciate you watching. Like, subscribe, and until our next Spoilercast next week or the week after, game on.
Movie.
Oh wait, movie on.
Movie. Watch stuff.
Yeah, watch stuff. No, watch dogs. That comes out at the end of May.
Next up, after this, I'm watching that Star Blazers, that Space Battleship Yamato movie.
Nice. You'll have to let us know how it is.
Yeah, I'll be able to talk about that tomorrow.
All right, we're out.